Hi, and welcome back to Comic Book Gallery Magic Edition. This week's episode is about buying a starter deck. So, as you can see here, I have Liliana Planeswalker deck. Now, I already had done this video and I opened it up, but the video didn't come out right, so I'm refilming it. So, I'm not going to be opening this, but you do get one pack and you get a deck. So, what I want to show you is the deck that I've been making from the limited cards for the past few weeks between drafting and buying the Deck Builders Toolkit. So, with that in mind, now that you've seen that, I'll show you what I built and was able to play with at a casual level, even though I'm trying to help you get to start playing Friday Night Magic. So far, I built in this deck 2 reassembling skeletons for a 2-drop. Next up is, just a little bit more in focus, a couple of 1-drops. When they enter the battlefield, they come in tapped, but these are all zombie themed. I have 4 Tattered Mummies so far in the deck. When Tattered Mummy dies, each opponent loses 2 life. Oh, I forgot to mention on the reassembling skeletons, the good part is that you can return for 2 mana, 1 swamp. You can return reassembling skeletons from your graveyard to your battlefield, which is nice because you have a lot of sacrifice effects in some of your spell costs. So you can sacrifice your skeleton and you bring them back again. So they're nice little blockers. Here's a couple of flyers because you don't have any. So Skymarch Bloodletters are a 3-drop, 1 black, 2 colorless mana. And when Skymarch Bloodletters enter the battlefield, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Also has flying, so it's not bad for a 2/2. Risen Gorgon. A Risen Gorgon has Death Touch as long as you control a Liliana Planeswalker. So they also give you a description of what Death Touch is, which I think is nice for all the new players. Any amount of damage this deals to a creature is enough to destroy it, so this is not bad for a 3/3 to give it Death Touch once you have a Liliana Planeswalker. So far I have 3 of those in the deck. And a Ravenous Chupacabra. Even though it's not a zombie, it's got a great effect. When Ravenous Chupacabra enters the battlefield, destroy target creature an opponent controls. So, as I get more Chupacabras, I'd probably want at least 2 and maybe keep 2 sideboard just because they're not zombies, but these are really good cards. So far I only have 1. The next one that I'm going to be trying to look out for this deck would be the Demon of Catastrophes. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, going back to like skeletons or your zombies, and it gets flying and trample. So for a 4-drop, it's a 6/6. That's really good. So definitely you'd want to put more of those to this deck. And staying with the zombie theme, you got a 2-headed zombie, which is Menace. And Menace states that creatures can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. It's a 4/2. Hopefully I can get this in better focus. There. And we have a couple of those. You're going to play a zombie deck. You need Gravediggers. So for a 4-drop, when Gravedigger enters the battlefield, you may return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. So that's nice to get back more zombies. Or any other creature. So you have 2 of those. That's definitely like a 4 of. Again, just to have a flyer, and until we get better cards, Vampire Sovereign. Flying. When Vampire Sovereign enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 3 life. You gain 3 life. So 3, 4 for 5. Not that good, but you need a flyer. Grave Waker. Get that in focus. The Bird Spirit. Flying for 7 mana, which is 2 of them are swamps. Return target creature card from your graveyard battlefield tapped. So I'd probably just run one of these, but for now I have two. And now we get into your other spell. So instants for a 2-drop is Moment of Craving. Target creature gets -2/-2 until the end of the turn. You gain 2 life. Have 2 of those. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0, gains whenever this creature dies. Return to the battlefield tapped. Abnormal. So these are nice. Here's a nice spell to be playing, especially if you're playing limited, which is draft. Sovereign's Bite. Target player lose 3 life. You gain 3 life. So there's 3 of those in the deck. Here's another one card that I'd want to run at least 2, maybe 3. Macabre's Waltz. And great artwork on the card. Return to 2 target creatures cards from the graveyard to your hand, then discard a card. Here's Recovery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, draw a card. Now here's a really good spell. If you're playing black, you should be running 4 of in standard. Murder. So for 2 blacks and 1 colorless, destroy target creature, and it's an instant. Currently only, I have a playset of 4, which is nice. When I was drafting, I was able to draft Liliana, but I just picked her up. Even though there wasn't enough zombies in the set, I wasn't able to play her, but I still picked her up because I knew I was going to be doing this video, and I was going to be picking up a Liliana Planeswalker deck. So Liliana, Untouched by Death, is put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. If at least one of them is a zombie card, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, which is the reason why we have so many zombies. So she starts off with 4 loyalty. That's a +1, so it'll take it up to 5. Or you can do a negative. So -2 is target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of zombies control. So if you want to get rid of a stubborn creature, if you have a lot of zombies, it's a good way of doing it. And if you don't have the removal in hand. And then the last is her -3 with you may cast a zombie cards from your graveyard this turn. So it says cards, so it's multiple. So you -3 and you bring back as many zombie cards as you can. Now here's a close-up of the starter. So it's Liliana the Necromancer. So it's a 5-drop, and target player loses 2 life. It's their +1 for loyalty to start out with. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand at -1. And then -7, destroy up to 2 target creatures. Put up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So, as you get more Lilianas, you might just want to run just maybe one of her, depending on how your playstyle is. So I'll leave that there for a second. And sorry about that. I forgot to bring these cards up. So, in the intro pack, and then I'm also playing 22 Swamps. So, in the intro pack, you get 1 pack. When I played the draft, I came in 3rd place, so I won 2. And so I thought I would just open up these packs. There's pack number 1. And I'm just going to go through the commons real quick, and we'll stop at the uncommons. So, get that in focus. Double cast. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new target for the copy. That's okay, I guess. Sorcery. Draconic Disciple. Human Shaman for 3. 1 green, 1 mountain, 1 colorless. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. 7, tap, sacrifice Draconic Disciple. Create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. I don't know if that's the standard play, but, you know, who knows? Somebody could do something with it. 3-drop, 2 swamps, Plague Mare. So, Plague Mare can't be blocked by white creatures. When Plague Mare enters the battlefield, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 to the end of the turn. That's not bad for a 3-drop. You can put -1. All your opponent's creatures get -1, so I could take out a lot for a 2/2. And finally, a Johnny's Last Stand is our rare. Whenever a creature or planeswalker you control dies, you may sacrifice a Johnny's Last Stand. If you do, create a 4/4 white avatar creature token with flying. Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard a card, if you control a planes, create a 4/4 white avatar token with flying. So this is not bad for a sideboard card if somebody's playing mill, but that's really the only. I mean, it's not bad for 4-drop. No matter what, you're going to create a 4/4 avatar. Island, and hey, zombie token if we ever need one. Next up, pack 2. So we'll skip through. That's not a good uncommon. I mean, if you're doing some kind of land destruction, I guess. Blanchwood Armor, that's not bad. For a 3-drop, enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each force you control. Psychic Symbiont. Flying, when Psychic Symbiont enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card and you draw a card. So if you're going for mill, but for a 6-drop, to get a 3/3 with this ability and flying, it's okay. Nothing to write home about. One with the Machine. So this is a 4-drop, 1 blue, 3 colorless. Sorcery, draw cards equal to the highest converted mana cost among the artifacts you control. So if you're playing an artifact deck, you know, if you have like a minimum of 5 or 6, this is definitely worth putting in. Or at least 4. You should be drawing at least 4 cards off of this. Otherwise, probably wouldn't put that in there. And hey, for the uncommon we drew, get a 5/5 dragon token. And the last one. Go through the uncommons. Okay, we got another double cast. I don't know if this is any good. I haven't been really keeping up with Standard that much, but I'm getting back into it, so I'll check to see if this is on any list, but I don't know. Seems like it's okay, depending on what you're comboing into. Skilled Animator. When Skilled Animator enters the battlefield, target artifact you control becomes a artifact creature with a base power and toughness of 5/5 for as long as Skilled Animator remains on the battlefield, which is not bad because if you have a mana rock or anything, an artifact that produces mana, once this drops, it becomes a 5/5, or anything that's not a creature artifact can become a 5/5 as long as it's out. So that's pretty good. Knightly Valor. Enchant creature. When Knightly Valor enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance, which is nice. Attacking doesn't cause it to tap. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has vigilance. So it's pretty heavy though for a 5, but it's okay. And here's a card I want to say originally came out in Innistrad. I believe it was Innistrad. Or I don't know if it was Avacyn, but I want to say it's during that block. But I want to say this was Innistrad. Mentor of the Meek. Whenever another creature with a power of 2 or less enters the battlefield, under your control, you may pay 1 if you do draw a card. So it's a nice card draw engine, and it's a soldier. And hey, to go with that enchantment, a knight token. So this is a series that I wanted to do to show, just help new players get into the game. And to do it on like a budget of $30-35, you know, depending on what your budget a week is up to you and what you spend. But I'm just trying to show you that every week you can be adding to your collection and learning the game and having fun. And that's what Magic is all about, or at least it was for me as I played. I've met a lot of cool people playing it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you later.